So in the previous video, we talked about the discovery and kind of the theory and academic thought behind it. Now the pre-production part. So this is where you've got your ideas, you've made your consideration, you've considered the stuff that you have versus the stuff you need versus the stuff you need to get. So now let's work on that script. You need to do some research here. And let's just say that we're going to do a how-to video, how to make an awesome roast beef. Okay. That seems pretty simple, but you, the video producer, if you don't know how to make roast beef, then do a little bit of research and figure that out ahead of time so that you have some ideas. You probably are going to have somebody on camera or at least somebody to consult with you to develop this script, but let's not go into this script writing process empty-headed. Let's know generally what goes into that process. Decide to include what not to include. It's storytelling. Is there some background information that you need to include? When we write video scripts, we put our video instructions on the left and our audio on the right. And this is kind of like a general script right here. So, our first visual, we're going to see Dave probably on camera giving an interview, and he's talking about the success of the last year. So we're going to let Dave talk off the cuff. If we really wanted Dave to say something specific about the success of the last year, we would tell him exactly what to say, and Dave would either read it or kind of have it memorized or have bullet points memorized and sound like he's talking off the cuff. Next, we have some graphics of last year's profits and some images, photographs of our team working together. And then we have Dave talk about our increased process and our new teamwork initiative. So this is a general script, and it kind of depends on what you're doing. If you want exact words said, script them out exactly how you want the narrator to read them. If not, then this right here is fine. And I'll post some examples of scripts and storyboards in Blackboard. So a storyboard is a visual representation of the story you want to tell. I very rarely do a storyboard. I'd rather do a script. That's just kind of how I learned. But a lot of people think that scripts are crazy. They'd rather do a storyboard because they think more visually perhaps than I do. Some people will do a script, but then they'll get down to one specific scene and they'll storyboard that out. It explains your camera shot. So in this, we have a classroom. We have a student saying storyboard, huh? And then we have a close-up of their face, like, that aha moment, there it is. And then we have the student working at home on their script. So yeah, this is a pretty good little storyboard right here. And again, I'll provide an example of several different storyboards for you. You can have exact dialogue or a generalization of what the dialogue is, totally up to you. Okay, other things to consider. Your location. Where are you going to shoot the video? Are you going to use a studio? Are you going to use a location? Is it accessible to you? Do you have permission to use it? Does it complement the look that you're going for? Does it make sense to shoot there? Do you need to pay for that location? Do you need to have release forms to use that location? Don't just show up to shoot somewhere, okay? So make sure that it's planned, you're prepared, and you have permission to be there. The crew. Can your people do everything? Do you need to hire some freelancers to help you? Do you need a specialized crew? Like, there are crews out there that just do lighting. They don't do the videography work. They'll just come light your set. Do you need some extra sets of hands? And I get a lot of times requests from people, do you have some students that would be willing to be a second shooter for me at a livestock show or a cattle sale or a wedding or like, hey, I just need an extra helper to help me. We're shooting a commercial in Lubbock. Do you have some people that could help me? I just need some runners. I get those requests all the time. Talent. Do you need to hire an actor? Or actors? Do you need voiceover talent? And there's voiceover talent. I'll provide a link for that in Blackboard as well. Do you need like an expert demonstrating do you need an expert chef making this roast beef that we're making. Is there somebody in the office that can do it? Is there somebody that you know that will do it for free? When I sold TV advertising, I was also, not only did I sell it, I helped with the production process to make sure that those commercials got on the air. So a lot of our church friends were in commercials in 2004 to 2006 because it was accessible talent to me and they didn't want any money for doing it. It was just kind of something cool and fun to do. Do you need to practice and do some read-throughs with your talent? Budget that into your timeline as well. And then the last thing that I want to talk about are graphics. To do nice graphics, you may need to take some extra time, especially if that is not your thing. Like, I'm not very good at graphic design, so it takes me a long time to put together nice looking graphics. Again, should you hire this? How many graphics do you need? And you can have like the CG or a name key, a lower third, a full screen, something over the shoulder, an infographic. Do they fit with the organization's brands? Are you using the right colors and fonts? Now keep in mind, graphics can be overused. We have done some research on this topic, and a lot of times the audience says, they're trying too hard with the graphics, because it's kind of like once you develop a template and it looks cool and it looks nice, then let's use lots of graphics. But sometimes graphics can be overdone. So just be careful with that and know that sometimes you can overdo it with your graphics. So we're going to pause right here on the pre-production process. And in the next lesson, we're going to move into the production and then post-production process.